Today we're going to take a look at Lesson 7 of Module 6. The objective says plot points using them to draw lines in the plane and describe patterns within the coordinate pairs. Number 1 says complete the chart, then plot the points on the coordinate plane below. Actually finding the coordinates will be rather easy. If you take a look here, they did the first one for you. X is 0, y is 3, so the coordinate would be 0, 3. So you'd have 2, 5, so that would be coordinate 2, 5. You have 4 for x, 7 for y. X always comes first, so you'd have 4, 7. And then you'd have 6 for x, 9 for y, so 6, 9. Now with those coordinates, you would fill them in on the plot to the right. So you go over 0, up 3, plot it in. You would go over 2, up 5, plot that in. You'd go over 4, up 7. Then you would go over 6, up 9. With the 4 plots in place, we can now connect them with a line. That line would keep going on. Now it says name 2 other points that are on this line. You can look at the graph to help you solve this, but you can also look at the table. After the initial plot of 0, 3, the x is going up by 2, and the y's are going up by 2. So x goes from 0 to 2 to 4 to 6. Y is going from 3 to 5 to 7 to 9. So following that pattern, I know that 8, 11 would be on this line, and 10, 13 would be on this line. All I did was follow the pattern. Let's move on to question number 2. Number 2 says complete the chart, then plot the points on the coordinate plane below. X is 1/2, y is 1, so you'd have 1/2 and 1. X is 1, y is 2, so you'd have 1, 2. X is 1 and 1/2, y is 3, 1 and 1/2, 3. X is 2, y is 4, so you'd have 2, 4. Now let's plot the 4 points. You'd go over 1/2 and up to 1, right there. You'd go over 1 and up 2, over 1 1/2 and up 3, and then over 2 and up 4. Now you have your four dots, and now you can draw your line. Now mind you, when you actually do this, you'll use a straight edge ruler and it'll look a lot better than that. Now it says name 2 other points that are on this line. Once again, you could look at your graph and you could find different plots that way if you drew a perfectly straight line, or you can look for a pattern. If I'm looking here in my x coordinate, it's going up by 1/2. It goes from 1/2 to 1 to 1 1/2 to 2. So I know the next one would be 2 1/2 for the x. And then if I look at my y's, they're going up by 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, so it would be 2 1/2, 5. Another coordinate then would be 3, 6. If you also take a look at them, the x is half of the y. Half and 1, half is half of 1. 1 is half of 2, 1 1/2 is half of 3, 2 is half of 4, 2 1/2 is half of 5, and 3 is half of 6. So patterns can also help you find 2 other plots that are on the line. This concludes Lesson 7, plot points, use them to draw lines on a plane and describe patterns within the coordinate pairs. If you have any questions, please bring them to our next class.